Hello everybody. This video is about sets and operations on sets. So let's begin with the definition of a set. So a set is simply a collection of objects, and these objects could be of any kind. They could be numbers, they could be pieces of furniture, they could be pieces of clothing, they could be historical events, etc. Anything you want could go into a set. So here is an example of how you could write up the elements of a set. So suppose we want to write up the elements of the set that consists of even numbers, and we're going to write it up this way. So we open the curly brackets and we start writing the elements separated by a comma, 2, 4, 6, 8, and dot dot, because of course there is an infinite number of even numbers, and then we close with another curly brackets. So that's how we represent set. Pictorially, we could also represent them by drawing a circle and labeling them with an uppercase letter, let's say A or N, or we could also come up with intuitive names. And the understanding is that everything that falls inside that circle is an element of that set, is an object that belongs to that set. We typically call element and objects that belong to a set. So the first operation between sets I want to talk about is the union. And we refer to the operation of union by writing the big U between two sets. Let's say we have set A and set B. These are sets as collections of objects. And A union B is another set, and namely it is the set of objects that are in A or B. So we should think of the union pictorially. So let's say we have the set A and we have the set B, and these are represented by this red area and blue area respectively. Now the union of A and B is a set that consists of all the elements that belong to A or B. So that is why I drew that thick black line around both A and B, because what the union does is to pick out every element in A or B. The other operation between sets is known as intersection, and intersection is referred to by writing a upside down U. So A intersection B, where A and B are, as before, existing sets, is another set consisting of the objects that are in common to both A and B. So if we have pictorially, again, as before, A and B, the set A represented by the red area and the set B represented by the blue area, the intersection is the area that is in common between the two sets. And that is why I drew that thick black line around the part that is shared by both A and B. So these are the objects that are contained in both A and B. So I want you to keep in mind the difference between intersection and union and don't confuse them. So first there is a difference in notation. So the intersection is referred to by using this upside down U, whereas union is referred to by using a big U. And then in terms of their meaning, so the intersection between two sets, between sets A and B, picks out the elements that are in common to A and B. Whereas the union between A and B picks out all the elements that are in A or B, not just the elements that are in common. So you can see from the picture that the union and the intersection are different, and you shouldn't confuse the two of them. Finally, the third operation I want to talk about in this video is the operation of complement. The operation of complement is represented by a small uppercase C. So this is a superscript that you write in the top right part next to your name of the set. In this case, I'm using the name A. So the complement of A, which you write at A superscript C, is the set of all objects that are not in A. So basically, here is our set A, pictorially represented as a red area. And then we have the universe omega that contains all the objects in the background. And so the complement of A is the set of all objects except for the objects that are in A, or in other words, the set of all objects that are not in A. That's the complement of A.